Shalom, and you're now locked in here at Israelite Talk TV, where you get nothing but the raw and the real whenever I'm in front of the camera. So make sure y'all show the page some love, like, subscribe, and share.
Shalom, and welcome back to another episode here at Israelite Talk TV, one of the #1 platforms where you don't get any paid media. Okay, thank you. Now, this morning, family, I hope everybody's having a good Monday morning, but we're going to be continuing our coverage on the Israeli and Hamas showdown that's taking place over there in the Holy Land. You guys see the title. We're going to be talking about how the Jews are beginning to lose favor on the world stage amongst a lot of people, a lot of different backgrounds and things like that. We're seeing crazy pro-Palestinian marches in a lot of places around the world. Okay. And I believe this is sending a sign that Jewish dominance, as we've known it in the past, is beginning to come to an end. As Yah's beginning to tear this stuff down. Okay. So before we get into that, we're going to go around the horn real quick. There's been a lot of developments that's happened over the weekends. And I just want to bring you guys up to date on what's going on. Okay. So the first thing that we want to get into is, the talks about, the Israelis moving in and moving into the second stage and all of this other stuff. Right. So we want to start. And I'm going to start the story here at Crux, where the Israelis said that they have moved into the Gaza Strip. They're beginning to they're beginning to have exchanges between Hamas and the Israeli war. The first piece is going to come in from Crux right here, where they reported where Hamas is basically saying that they ran the Israelis out of there. Okay, basically made them retreat. Okay, so as we begin, it brings out later the head of Hamas government office in Gaza said the Israeli tanks have retreated from the outskirts of Gaza City after heavy fighting. Okay, so let's let this ride a little bit. So yeah, it's going down, family. The Israelis have began to move in, and it's going down. So, and bear with me, man. The weather changing up here, man, and got a little bit of the sniffle. So just bear with me. So look, it brings out here, right, and this is coming from the head of Hamas, right? It says there's absolutely no ground advance inside the residential neighborhoods in the Gaza Strip. What happened on Salah Aden Street was the incursion of a few occupation army tanks and a bulldozer. These vehicles targeted 2 civilian cars on Salah Aden Street and bulldozed the street before the resistance forced them to retreat. There is currently no presence of occupation army vehicles on Salah Aden Road, and citizen movement has returned to normal on the road. So here we got Hamas checking in, letting us know, yeah, they try to come through there, but we ran them up out of there. Okay, the resistance and made them get up out of there. So basically, what they're doing is they have to find entry points where they can get in and begin to set up shop. So what Hamas is saying is they basically brought these, because what they're doing is they're bringing these bulldozers, these bulletproof, these armored cars in, and basically they want to bulldoze and make a path, where they can get in and, begin to start securing a different, territory and stuff like that. So Hamas was basically waiting on them. And we got a little bit of footage here, right? Let's jump over to this tab right here and let's get this going. So right here, this is a video where Hamas says Hamas video claims to show a rocket hitting is an Israeli army vehicle, right? Okay. So this is the video right here. I don't know if you guys saw it, but basically, look, you see the Goonies up there in the mountain. So they coming, and you see that fire over here getting on this armored vehicle right here. Boom. See? Out of there. Game over. Right? So yeah, so the Goonies are pretty much, they in position. They waiting on them. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ready for it to go down. Iran, right? Okay. Or hold on. Before we get back to Iran, let's jump back over here, right? I want to show you guys something else. Also, let's back here. Okay, let's do this. So, rocket attacks on Israel's Netanyahu causes intense damage. Nearly 30 rockets were launched from Gaza at the southern Israeli city of Nevat on October 30th. Okay, and that's pretty much today. Israeli media reported Iron Dome intercepting at least one direct impact of large rocket barrage at Nevat. Local media quoted the Magen David Adam Amalem service, which said two homes were hit by rockets that caused intense damage. So Hamas hasn't let up. They still, firing, um, firing on the Israelis. So it's war over here, family. It's up. Like we would say, it's up. Let's see here what the Hamas wing said here. So they saying that they hit two homes by rockets that caused intensive damage. So they beginning to get through. And then the Al-Qassam barrage, the armed wing of Hamas earlier said that it launched a barrage of rockets targeting Nevat. So yeah, family. It's up right now over there, right? Now Iran. So I guess it sounds like because Iran has already said that if the Israelis continue with this ground offense, that they're going to enter the battle. Now Iran was doing some testing and stuff, testing their fleets and things like that, they missiles and stuff over the weekend. But something that Iran accused the United States of, and I want to bring to you guys' attention. Now, Iran is claiming that the United States has sent, they have over 5,000 some troops that are helping the Israelis. Okay, so this is crazy. Well, I ain't gonna say it's crazy, but I'm saying it's crazy because if you look at that little bitty Gaza Strip, you're telling me with all of this stuff, I mean, like they got all of this stuff, and they having a hard time with Hamas down there, man, and it's crazy. But Iran has accused the United States of having over 5,000 or some, I believe, special troops helping them on the ground invasion, right? But the United States has denied those claims by Iran. So let's go ahead and play this so you guys can kind of see what's going on, right? Now, this was released yesterday on this news channel, Hindustan Times, if I'm saying that correctly. So, they're reporting on this just yesterday. So, says the U.S. dismisses Iran report of misinformation. Okay. Okay. Startling claim by Iran that the U.S. troops are involved in Israel's Gaza offense. Tehran has claimed that about 5,000 American soldiers are part of the Gaza incursion. Okay, so Iran is saying they got about 5,000 soldiers that's with them. It says Iran said the U.S. and Israel have joined hands in their offense to wipe out Hamas from Gaza. Three divisions, several barrages, and 5,000 U.S. military personnel. So they're saying these are the divisions that's going in on this ground offensive. It says Iran news agency Tasnim reported that Israel is attempting to enter Gaza from several areas. Israel is working to split Gaza into two before an all-out operation. So that I get that is being confirmed. So I guess there is some truth to what's being said here because they are reporting how they're basically moving in and trying to they're trying to cut off the people from the south to the north, and then they're trying to control both sides. So it does sound like Iran is up on what's going on out here, right? So the United States has basically denied what's going on, what the Iranians are saying as far as them going in and helping them. Um, and of course, if it is true, they gonna say this. They ain't gonna say that they doing that because then it would just be all out, all out mayhem. So Mr. Um, Reisi, the president of Iran, is basically saying, right, they're saying that is if it says Israel forces will be divided if they set foot in Gaza Iran wars. So they already letting them know that if they go in there, which they're going in there, they're going to be divided. So we might as well just go ahead and get ready. My advice to you all is to go ahead and get y'all popcorn, get ready because it's going down. Okay. Uh, Something else that went down over the weekend, right? And I don't know if you guys saw this. You should have saw it. But Erdogan, the Turkey president, right, which is a NATO member, oh man, he went in on the Zionist regime in Israel, right? He called them war criminals. And you guys can just search the internet. But what I'm showing you here is this is a big rally they had for some day they was recognizing, and they had over hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that actually showed up to this rally, and you guys can kind of see. But if you look it up online, it's pretty much playing on on a lot of these news stations because this is something that's big. And Turkey basically saying that they're standing behind Hamas. So it's going to be interesting how this stuff is getting ready to play out because Turkey has a very big army. And, if they get involved along with Iran, just think about this. It's going to be problems in that Middle East, because Turkey is saying they're standing with Hamas. Iran is saying they're standing with Hamas. So that alone right there is going to be a lot of power. And then you got Egypt, which is going to be the wild card. And I really believe that Egypt, at some point, they're not going to have any choice but to get involved in it because you got to understand what's going on down there in Egypt. Let me pull this up so you guys can see this real quick, right? Okay. Let's do this. If you guys kind of see what's going on down here, is that if we look down here, right? This is Egypt down here, right? Okay, let me just zoom out real quick. So we see Israel, right? Now, if we look down here in this pocket down here, right? There's beginning to be fire that's being targeted down here by what is known as Eilat down here, right? And if you notice, it's down here by the water. So, the thing about Europeans, they like that water area because they can do resorts and, things like that. So, but anyway, there's been fire down here by this area down here by Eilat, right? Where there's a lot of refugees that's down there because they've been kind of pushed down through there because of the fighting and stuff. So now Hamas is believed to be firing, in these areas. And then they also fired what we was looking at earlier today, the new barrage of rockets. This is where they fired them into this morning, Navat, okay, right here. So if you just look about what's going on down here by the Eilat area, it was also some stuff that happened down here around it because you got to look. This is the Israel and Egypt border right here, right? So there was some fire down here, and then of course there was some return fire down where down around the Egyptian border. So the more that they continue to push the Palestinians down here towards the Rafah border, This is now going to endanger Egypt. It kind of puts Egypt into it, because if you got stuff that's firing from down here by the Rafah crossing, into Israel, then if they fire back this way, then you got to know and understand some of that stuff is going to get into Egypt, as we've been seeing. And it's just been kind of going down. So that's pretty much what's going on. They still attacking from the north. Hezbollah done stepped up their attacks. They kind of swapped out some of their missiles. One of the things that we're starting to see is that Hamas is changing the game up, because now as they beginning to come in, now they're using guided missiles, guided anti-tank missiles, right? That'll blow those tanks and stuff up. And there's one guy from the Israeli side that just died recently in one of those attacks, right? So it's going down, right, over there in the Middle East. So right now, pretty much what we're waiting on. And oh yeah, they tearing the Gaza Strip up. I mean, over the weekend they knocked out all the internet and stuff like that, because see, the Israelis don't want the word to get out to show what they really doing. How savage they being, down up in there. But I mean, we know how they is, man. It's just what it is, and then they want to come out before the world and just act like they're model citizens and they this and that, and they're the most ruthless on planet Earth. Okay, now let's get into what I was talking about, the favor beginning to be lost with the Israelis, right? So right here, as I was showing you, Turkey has come out and basically condemned the Israelis. They've even removed their ambassadors from out of Turkey behind this over the weekend. Y'all gonna get up out of there, because it's getting critical. Okay. But if we go around the horn here, right, what I want to show you guys is that there's mass protests that are taking place all around the world. Okay. Mass, and this was in Lebanon right here yesterday, but they're going to kind of go and kind of show you various different places around the world. They even had mass protests up in New York, which is crazy. They was all on the I believe that was the Brooklyn Bridge. Look at all of these people, family. So you got in Pakistan, you got all of these people that are supporting Palestine. Okay. All in Spain, mass protests, right? All in the Netherlands. Okay. You even had down in, I believe it was Brazil, the president came out and condemned the Israelis, and they get a lot of stuff from the Israelis and basically saying what they're doing is genocide and they don't condemn it. You know what? Let me let her breathe for a little bit. I want you guys to listen to her because she's a Jew. So I don't know. Everybody else is called anti-Semitic, so I don't know what they're going to call her.
Reject what Zionists are doing in our name. We reject the genocide that is honest continuing in Palestine, and the savagery is quite unbelievable.
Let me back her up.
Genocide. We reject the Zionists are doing in our name.
Side.
Many Jews like me reject what Zionists are doing in our name. We reject the genocide that is honest continuing in Palestine, and the savagery is quite unbelievable. And our people, with our history, can do this in my name is just not okay.
Meanwhile, in Geneva, Switzerland.
So this right here, family, is this is a woman that's a Jew. So she's she identifies as a Jew. So I don't know. They're gonna call her. They can't call her anti-Semitic, but I don't know. They'll come up with something. But the fact of the matter is, you even have those that are Jews, okay, that's coming out and basically condemning, what's going on as far as in Palestine. See, what you guys got to understand, right? Okay, is that, what you guys have to understand is that we're living in a time of social media, right? A lot of times in the past, when a lot of these wars were going on, the media was controlled by these news outlets, right? Some of the major outlets that we see out there. And they're going to put out what these people tell them to put out, because you got to remember, these are the people that put them in office, okay? So they have to abide by what they do because they're paying them and supporting their campaigns. So now, you know what I'm saying? People are coming out and they're telling the world, we see what's going on. We're not going to be bamboozled. You have thousands and thousands of people that's rallying around the world. Now, I know people that's coming out as far as from an Israelite uh, stance. That's kind of, here's my thought on the whole war. Right? There's going to be judgments to the Arabs also, because they also was involved in the slave trade too. They were before the Europeans, right? When you go back and you check the credits, so they also have a judgment that's on them. My thing in this whole war is, I respect the Palestinians more than I respect the Israelis, because the Palestinians have not come out and lied and said that they are the Israelites, the people of the book, like these Jewish converts have done. That is that right there is a problem, because you're trying to steal somebody's identity, you know, and then you over here and you're going through all of this stuff that y'all going through just because you're trying to steal people's identity and land, not understanding that it's going to be problematic over that land, because this is what Tanakh teaches us. So what you guys got to understand is that there is a judgment, you know, and see, here's the deal. If Israel falls, right, this is, and then they're not lying, this is a very important battle. If they lose out there in that Middle East and they mess around and get expelled from that Middle East, that's going to be the biggest hurt of all times. Like, family, it's getting crazy where they have to evacuate. They're evacuating people out of there, and they're in the process of evacuating more if it get super crazy. This is why they also have certain military personnel out there, because if they're going to get, like, listen, family, it's finna go down out there. They're not going to be able to withstand the barrage of missiles that's because look at it like this, right? When all these other fronts really fully open up, right, it's not going to take that much to destroy Tel Aviv with the precision guided missiles, because what they're going to do is Hamas and Hezbollah can tie them up with rocket fire from the north and the south, and that is going to wear down that Iron Dome. And when you got all of that stuff that's going on, and then you begin to start taking out, you have precision guided missiles that's coming in, that's going to do damage to infrastructure, stuff like that. Like, it's going to get ugly out there, and it's going to be a lose-lose situation for both sides, because yeah, they're tearing up Gaza, but they're also doing damage in Israel. You know, they're damaging property and stuff out there. And then if an all-out front breaks out where it's just, you know what I'm saying, and you got a million rockets that's going at Tel Aviv, like, that's going to mess that stuff up out there. It's going to be bad, just as Tanakh tells us. It's going to be bad. You know, it tells us that when this happens, it's going to be months and months and months. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys got to remember, this is how the land is atoned for. You see what I'm saying? This is how the land is atoned for, through blood, because of the innocent blood that's been shed. This has to be shed. Let me say this, and I'm going to wrap this up. You know, the Israelis, this is real serious, man, because if you guys look at something, right, I want to pull this up. Oh, no. Hold on. This is what I almost forgot to show you guys, right? So this was a few hours ago. This happened yesterday. And this happened yesterday in Russia, right? I almost forgot about this. Okay. But I want you guys to check this out, right? Okay. I want you guys to check this out right here, right? Okay. You know what? Let's do this. Now check this out, family. Check this out. And this was in Russia yesterday, right? So we have this mob of believe it's Muslims, because you hear them hollering out Allah Akbar. So you know these are Muslims. But look, family, these are Jews on here, family. They jumped on the plane, like, open it up, let us in there. Listen, look, mobs, they broke. This is at the airport. Look how they storming coming through that thing. Let us up in here, man, with the flags, man. Look at all these people out here. This is at an airport in Russia. Look how serious this stuff done got, man. Family, this in Russia. So what they did was they looking for these Israelis, these Jews. Listen, they busting all through the doors. Like, where they at, man? Like, took over the airport, man. Look, family, like it's like look, like it's serious in the field, man. Look, man, like they are not playing, man. So this shows you once again, as I said, okay. This is showing you, as I said, that the Israelis are losing favor around the world. Okay. I mean, took over an airport. Let us up in here. Okay. Where they at? You see what I'm saying? So now this is what I want to, this is what I want you guys to pay attention to, right? Now you've heard about this, right? About Europeans becoming the minorities, right? In the world. So they're already a minority in the world, but here in the United States, they saying by 2045 they will be a minority, right? So we're just about what, about 20 years out, right? Now check this out right here. Okay, so it goes on to say a new census population. Let's see here. New census population projection confirmed the importance of racial minorities as the primary demographic engine of the nation's future growth, countering the aging, slow growing, and soon to be declining white population. The new statistics project that the nation will become a minority white in 2045. During that year, whites will comprise 49.7% of the population, in contrast to 24.6% for Hispanics and 13.1% for blacks and 7.9% for Asians and 3.8% for multiracial populations, right? It goes on to say, right, and this is what I want you guys to pay attention to. It says the shift is a result of two trends. First, between 2018 and 2060, gains will continue to be in combined racial minority populations, growing by 74%. Second, during this time frame, the aging white population will see a modest immediate gain through 2024. That's going through next year, and then experience a long-term decline through 2060, a consequence of more deaths than births. Okay, so Europeans are going to be the minorities here in the nation. And if I had to say it today, I already believe they are the minority. They're not going to never tell you that. Okay, because here's the deal. They want us now. We just looked at that graph. They want us to believe, right? Now, they calculate us as being over 40 million strong here in the United States. I would beg to differ to say that it's more than 40 million blacks here in America, right? And the reason why I say that is because a lot of time when these census and stuff come out, we don't do the census. I know I don't do it. When they come and say, hey, let's do census this and that, I don't even do it. I just throw them out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure it's a lot of people that don't do the census, you know, and this will be something in the future. Maybe you guys pass around to some of these, pro-black platforms where we need to get our own census and do our own count from city to city. Because I will bet you that it will be way more than that 40 million. But at any rate, right, the point that I'm trying to make here, they don't never want blacks to, they want to keep the blacks numbers low. Like they got to stop. This is nothing more than sorcery. You want us to believe that the Hispanic population is 24.9% here in black. So you want us to believe that you've had all these millions of Mexicans cross in through the border. Like, come on, man, stop the cap. You know what I'm saying? Stop the cap. They want us to believe that all these people that flooded in through the border, where you got millions and millions of Hispanics. And then the thing that they do is they use those numbers for themselves. And then they are separated, say, well, you know, it's 24% Hispanics, woo, woo, woo. But like, man, it's fluff, man. Okay. But the point of the matter that I'm trying to make here is that the demographics are changing here in America, right? As they are in different places around the world. See, the more they continue to bring these immigrants into the nation, these are going to be people that's going to be against them. And I believe the Democrats are going to have problems next year around election time over the handling. If they don't get a grip of what's going on over here in Palestine, they're not going to win, because you got to remember the Democrats, their whole game is to bring in these foreigners, these immigrants, because they use these people to vote for them, because, hey, we bring y'all in, we giving y'all this stuff, so they're going to come out and vote for them. So now the way that they're handling this Israeli and Palestine war, a lot of people are beginning to turn against the government and saying that they're not going to forget what they're doing and this and that. So this is why you got certain Democratic faces that's trying to hold the line and basically saying, no, Israel's wrong, because they need that support. Because if they just come out and say, hey, listen, we support them, then they're going to lose all of their supporters for next year for election time, which is going to be bad for them. So this is good stuff, right? And it's showing that the more that these nations are becoming diverse, the more that the European power, the Western influence, is beginning to decline. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated on what's going on, family, with this war. But this is the latest, so you guys continue to stay safe out there. Go ahead, as I keep telling you, go and get all your essentials and start stacking those things, because just like that, as this war continues to progress, it's gonna mess the whole. It's going to slow everything up in the world, because you're talking about oil and stuff that comes from the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, at some point, they're going to have to cut ties with the United States if they continue to keep, smashing, the Palestinians, the innocent people, because you got to understand, at the end of the day, they're Muslims. So at some, they got to put their differences to the side and say, well, look, you killing Muslims and stuff now. So if not for anything else, they gotta stand on those principles for that. So the more that this war continues to happen, all these people get drew in, trade, and all this other stuff is going to slow down. Okay, so we are in World War III. We've been in World War III. Get the stuff y'all need. Stay safe, and I'll check back in with y'all tomorrow. Shalom.